Well, call it a recession, a pullback. The reality is companies now more than ever need to be increasingly proactive, maintaining market share and increasing visibility while cutting costs. Well, Bill Bongiorno joins us now. He's the president of Blue Chip Marketing, and he has some free and easy suggestions on getting your company's message out. Not easy, because the tendency is, Bill, at this time to kind of cut costs, withdraw a little bit.
Right. Cut the advertising.
Yeah. Duck for cover.
Right. Cut the public relations. But that's really the wrong thing to do at the wrong time. Cut some of your office space. Cut some other things that you don't. Some of the fluff that you don't need. But don't pull back from being visible and out there in the public and building your credibility. When other companies are pulling back, now is the time where you can take advantage of that. And so when things turn and things get better, you'll have the name recognition and the visibility so that you can grow even faster.
Well, your point is people don't hire you if they don't know who you are.
Right, exactly. So you have to be out there. You have to be visible. You have to be in the media so that people know you exist. You increase your name recognition, your credibility, and people know that you're experts in your field, and you can help solve the problems that they need solved.
Well, we're not talking about necessarily stepping up your advertising budget, because many small companies in particular can't afford it. We're talking about accessing free media, aren't we?
Right. I mean, there are newspapers and magazines that need sources. They need information from experts in their field. And there's an opportunity for people all across different fields to be those sources, and as opposed to advertising, which costs a lot and it doesn't have the credibility that public relations has, because it may take 7 figures to have an ad budget, whereas you can do things for free in public relations.
You say target the byline article. Explain that to our viewers.
Well, one of the first things we do with our clients is we say, listen, to crystallize your thinking and position yourself as an expert, write an article under your name. With the cutbacks that have hit newspapers and magazines, the staffs have been cut. So they need outside sources to write articles for free. And this way you have a marketing piece that you can use to post on your website, to send to potential clients, to use as referral tools with existing clients. So it's very important to merchandise the public relations. It's not just being in an article or writing an article. It's using it at conferences when you have speaking dates so that you really extend and leverage the public relations. And
you say one thing that really is helpful and people connect with, it's anecdotal information. They really grab onto that, don't they?
Right. As an expert, you should talk about what the solutions are that you provide for your clients. Tell stories. That's what people respond to. They don't respond to jargon and boring stuff. People want to know, hey, what does this mean to me? What do you do for your clients or customers that I can learn and do for myself as well.
Now, your point about being a source to the media, for example, if you work in accounting, to kind of present yourself to a newspaper or a radio station or a television station, to be the go-to guy if you need a comment, a remark, an interview.
Right.
How would a company go about accessing that or getting themselves so they are available as a source?
Well, there's so much information available on the internet these days. I mean, most magazines and newspapers have websites. If you're going to write a byline article, there's a trick of the trade is an editorial calendar. It's posted right on their website what stories they're going to cover over the next 12 months. So you can look at that and say, hey, we can comment on this story, or we can write a byline article. Let's contact the editor and send an email with some, a few paragraphs of what we would talk about, our credentials, that sort of thing, so that you can position yourself as somebody that is an expert and is available to be a source to the media.
And you say then you can take it to the next level. You can take it to radio, and then ultimately you can take it to TV.
Well, absolutely. I mean, as you know, TV follows print a lot of times. So there's stories in the newspapers and the magazines where there's sources that are quoted. And if you've written articles or you've been quoted in print press, you can take those articles and send them to TV stations and say, hey, are you covering this story? I was a source in the Associated Press, or I was in the Wall Street Journal talking about this, and would you want to have me on as a guest? And really, as you know, the medium is very powerful. So, I mean, we have clients on CNBC. We work with financial companies, and at any given time, they're talking to 250,000 potential investors. So, I mean, there is so much free media exposure that's available to all size companies, small, medium, and large, that they're missing a golden opportunity to take advantage of this while others are withdrawing, to position themselves so that when things do turn around, they can have higher visibility, higher credibility, and really grow their business.
And what are your thoughts on new media? I mean, there are a lot of people that have asked me, and I've heard discussions about blogs, the internet, trying to kind of find a space there. It's still kind of uncharted waters in many senses, isn't it?
It is uncharted waters, and there is something to say for blogging if you have the time to do that, but really there still is the credibility factor. I mean, to be profiled in the New York Times or the Los Angeles Times or be on CNBC or News 12 is you know, a credible news source. If you're on some website that nobody's ever heard of, what are you going to do with that? I mean, there's still a big gap between what's happening on the internet and what's happening with traditional media. So traditional media is not dead. That's
right. Thank goodness. All right, Bill, thanks so much. And we'll be back with more 12 on the Money after the break.